We looked at the passages which pertain to these questions in a previous video, so this is basically part B, continuing on. And the question 34, which is the very first question, so we're expecting it to be relatively easy, says, what is the basic question on which the two scientists disagree? The question that the two scientists disagree is human evolution continuing, ongoing process? I don't think they're discussing the evolution per se. Do human twins start life at a disadvantage? I don't think so. I think scientists too said that. He did say that because of their low birth weight. Does natural selection favor genes that produce twins? I think this is the question that they're both pondering on. That's the question. Is the tendency to produce twins hereditary? That's not the question. The next question, to refute scientist 2's argument, scientist 1 might point out. So his argument was, one of the main arguments that scientist 2 had was that, and remember we had the response, scientist 2, he responded to scientist 1 by saying to have viable twins, you need large mothers. All right, let's go ahead and read the question. Modern medicinal science has greatly improved the survival rate of infants with low birth weights. Many twins result from the division of a single fertilized egg that is not genetically controlled, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Evolutionary change is extremely slow and there is no evidence that the human species has changed. They didn't discuss this. Large women have twins as frequently as small women. Well, scientist 2 says that we need large women, but it didn't say that they're there yet. So by process of elimination, we come to the conclusion that A is the only one that we could not comfortably eliminate, which is modern medicinal science has greatly improved the survival rate of infants of low birth rate. So this is probably what the scientist 1 might point out to the scientist 2. The arguments of both scientist 1 and scientist 2 could be invalidated if new evidence indicated that the rate of twin births has not changed in the past century. Genetics really makes very little difference to whether or not a woman produces twins. Well, they both have at some point said that genetics or all factors are important. So let's go back to the first one here. Scientist 1 definitely says that there is a genetic tendency, and scientist 2 says that he doesn't say genetic tendency, that he does talk about many factors that will cause an outcome. So they both are talking about genetics. And we go back to our question. So that is G. What piece of statistical evidence would greatly strengthen scientist 2's position? Twins born at 5.5 have poorer survival rate than babies born singly. Well, scientist 2 never said that. That's not true. Twins born at 7 pounds, scientist 2 never said that there would be twin sets. He said that there would be twins at 5.5 pounds and single babies at 7.5 pounds. So A and B are crossed out. Twins born to large women have better survival rate than twins born to small women. Well, if they could prove this, I think scientists too would be very happy. Twins born to small women have better survival rate than twins born to large women? No, that's not true. So the answer here is C. Moving on to the next one. I have two more after this one. And the underlying argument of both scientists is the assumption that production of twins is a desirable prospect. Women who bear twins are healthier. I don't think they discussed this either. The genetic composition of father is irrelevant. True, they did not say anything about the father, but they didn't say it was irrelevant either. Natural selection acts on human beings in the same way as it does on other animals is the best answer. Which of the arguments of scientist 1 was not refuted by scientist 2? So what was not refuted? Modern medicine has no effect on the rate at which twins are born. No. In primitive conditions, natural selection will favor single birth. So the question again is, which argument of scientist 1 was not refuted? I think scientist 2 didn't really attack this notion at all. Survival rate of the basic biological factor is not influenced by external environment. Well, they did say that. He did say that. Large women are inherently capable of producing twins with large birth weights. He did say that. So, moving on. This is my last question. Scientist 2 claims that scientist 1 has overlooked an important general principle of the biological science. What did scientist 1 overlook? The very first one, all biological factors interact with each other, and the selective value depends on the optimal combination of the values of the factors. He basically says that in his paragraph right here. When many factors affect an outcome, it is necessary to consider how they interact to produce an optimum condition. Well, thank you very much for listening to this series, and I look forward to seeing you in the next few videos. So goodbye and see you again.